All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Darkest Dungeon 2. As you might be able to tell, or have seen in my community post, we lost the last run, as in I quite literally lost it. The files got deleted, I was messing around with files. It's unfortunate, but adapt and overcome, that's part of Darkest Dungeon. So we're going to be going ahead and starting a new run. Hopefully I will be able to finish this one this time around, assuming that we're actually able to win. So going to be trying something a little bit different this time, and we're going to be doing a full dance team. This is something that I've wanted to try for a while. I've done dance teams before, of course, but just wanted to mess around with a few of the paths and abilities that I don't normally use on a lot of my heroes. So let's go through the roster and just take a look at them. And of course, this is always subject to change. Adapting is part of the game. So we'll take a look at this now and see how we end up at the end of the match or round or whatever we want to call it. So here we have the man-at-arms. Not traditionally somebody who people might call a dancer, but he does have the ability to move forwards and backwards of his own volition while also using a skill. So that does make him a dancer in the sense of that. So we're going to be running him as a bulwark. This is to give him a little bit extra damage. We are going to need the damage, as well as giving him some defense abilities, make him pretty tough to kill, while also giving him the ability to focus on doing his shield moves and getting that extra damage from it as well. So we've got Rampart, we've got Hold the Line. These are both moving him forward. We have Bellow, just always a good all-around support ability that can be used from any position. We also have Standfast. I don't know if we're going to be using Standfast very often. I may switch this out for something else like Courageous Abandon, but we'll take a look and see how it feels, or even Command might be a better option. And then we also have Strategic Withdrawal. Really what I'm going to be using this for is probably the combo more than anything, but it is also good at getting us back and moved around. Now we also have here a Highwayman, and I'm going to be using the Yellow Hand Highwayman. The reason I want to use this is because we've used Sharp Shot way too often, and I do think this allows us to play him in a fun way. So Yellow Hand, giving him the additional health and also allowing his melee skills to reduce bleed resistance. This isn't something we're going to use too much, but we will get some use of it with our Jester as well. Also gives his Highway Robbery the ability to steal positive token, and Double Cross removes an additional block token, or actually removes a block token, not just giving vulnerable, so you can land the vulnerable more often. The abilities we have here are Duelist Advance, one of his best moves to move him forward. We have Tracking Shot. I may switch this out for Point Blank Shot, which is another good movement ability of his, just so we can allow him to be positioning backwards and forwards. But again, other heroes might be able to kind of do that for him. We have Open Vein, just trying to lean into the Yellow Hand ability and take advantage of that bleed, and also with the combo from things like Strategic Withdrawal or the Jester, might be able to get some use out of that as well. Double Cross, really potent ability to apply vulnerable while also doing some semi-decent damage, and Highway Robbery because it's fun to take tokens. And then for our Jester, we are running him as Intermezzo, which gives him the ability to apply bleed on movement or song abilities, I should say. So this can be applied both to the enemy and to our own team. Also gives Inspiring Tune, which is actually something we're probably not going to use very often. The additional stress resist and a couple other benefits there when using Battle Ballad or Play Out. And yeah, this is definitely something we're going to try to synergize with the Highwayman, as well as with the Runaway, who is being used as a survivor, which we just want to take advantage of her healing. She's going to be the primary healer on this team, in fact the only healer realistically, so we're going to have to be cautious about that. But yeah, she is going to do additional healing. We're going to be using Cauterize with the Jester as much as we can to get those heals. Being that he can use his song abilities like Inspiring Tune and Battle Ballad in order to bleed our own heroes. This is actually something we want. We do also have her abilities, which are Smokescreen, Run and Hide, Hearthlight. This may get switched out, but it is good at just kind of tapping a lot of dodge tokens or whatever the case is. Ransack to allow her to move, as well as Cauterize. We may put on Dragonfly in lieu of something else, but again, she does have the reduced ability to apply burn, so we don't really want to focus on the burn that much. And yes, this is the team that we have. I'm not sure what torch we're going to go ahead and try to run. I was thinking that I may try to use the Hateful Pyre again because it does have the knockback, and this team is pretty effective at dealing with the knockback, but it does also reduce our healing, and I don't know if I really want to go into this with a dance team and no healers or no effective healers. That is a little bit rough, so we'll have to see how it feels. I may just end up going with something like... I may even just use the base torch, who knows. Don't have to use the Infernal Flame every time, which is a habit that I've gotten myself into, because I'm like, I have to, it's good for me. We do also have a Memoried Highwayman, so he does have, though slow-handed is not great, but he does have Defiant, which is something that's always good to have. Slow-handed, not great, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and get into this. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the Widow. And so it's gonna be interesting to see how this all feels and pans out. So we can use solo. This will actually apply bleed and combo, which again is something that we can use something like Open Vein to allow us to do more damage, or we can use this, probably get enough to kill her with the bleed as well, while also giving us riposte. Good dodge. So as we can see here, we're already getting some kind of interesting combinations. Rampart is actually doing some pretty heavy damage there.
A promising development.
But yeah, this is I think this will be a pretty fun team. That's kind of what I'm hoping for, is that it'll be a fun time, you know. We love ourselves a fun time. Let's go ahead and whack this guy. And then we can fade to black here. So yeah, it looks like so far we've been able to use an ability every turn, which is really good. Fantastic. 2 rounds. That's a strong start. 2 rounds and 0 stress. I would say we're off to a good team here. If we can get the right trinkets, we can definitely be feeling pretty damn good here. Something I'd love to get would be something like Jealous Whisper, would be really powerful, which is the cultist trinket that allows us to generate positive tokens when moving. Because our whole team is moving and everybody is moving, that basically means that we generate a crud ton of those tokens. Would be pretty interesting to see. All right, so let's go ahead, and as always, I like to pick where it is that we're going. I would think that we're probably going to see more beneficial trinkets from the Sprawl than we are the Fetter. I'm also thinking that the Librarian may be the boss we have the easier time with. That's something that we're going to have to think about, is a Lair boss, and which Lair boss is best for us. The thing is, right, we actually need to be cautious about taking on the General, because he could give us the trophy that locks us in place. The Sprawl, we don't necessarily have the reach in order to really take full advantage of, which is definitely something that we're going to struggle doing. The Baby may be a decent option, but our debuff resist is going to be a bit of a problem on this team. I would imagine we don't have great debuff resist, and the Hunger, you know, a mobile team is good. We may also be able to use the mana arms to kind of effectively remove the issue of the Hunger if we can get him to do hold the line and be able to keep himself up there. Maybe that's the better option. We're gonna get regen and blight trinkets here mostly. Regen trinkets could be good for our inability to heal. Let's go for Fetter. I don't think either of these are particularly great choices, but an early Lair might be beneficial for us. So let's take a look at our early mastery here and kind of figure out what it is that we want to focus on doing. I would really like to actually get Fade to Black, because I think our ability to use the combo of like the Highwayman and also with Rampart is going to be pretty potent. So I'm actually going to go for this and see if we can actually use that for stuns early on, which can give us some pretty potent abilities. I would think it'd be silly of us not to use the Hatch on Crocodilian. We're going to be getting a lot of extra damage. It is potentially going to slow us down, but I don't really see that as a huge issue. And it's fun to play around with the Crocodilian, so that does mean that we kind of open up our stagecoach in terms of, you know, not really needing to pick a specific thing that we go for. Route scouting is good. Stacking of poultices would be great, but we don't know if we're going to get Mortar and Pestle, and we can't guarantee that we are going to. Looking at the flames, I think we might just avoid taking a flame this time. I don't think we need to take one. So let's get food. That is definitely something that we want.
To ease the rigors of the road.
And Man, I don't know. Telescope is okay, but it's not amazing. Almanac is pretty rough. I don't know. Compress kit is good if we really wanted to kind of hoard poultices. And by the way, we are on Act 5. We're on Act 5 for this boss. Do we want to hoard poultices? Man, I don't know. I'm gonna go for it. I think it's just gonna be more useful than the telescope. I don't really care about the scouting that much. I'm gonna save our money for a potential hospital, so I'm just gonna buy smoke bombs just to have some of them on hand. Pouch of Lie is gonna be pretty good early on here. And something I probably would want to do right now is go ahead and split these. We're using the V key on keyboard here. And this just allows us to split our combat items for now, which is pretty good. And we'll go ahead and do this. You know, it's always good. Sorry, I apologize. Somebody just texted me out of the blue. I have no idea who they are. Interesting. Let's see. No idea who that is. Okay. All right. Sorry for the distraction there. All right. Unremovable. Yep. Compress kit. Yep. And I think that puts us in a good position. Let's go through everything. Make sure that we've gotten everything that we want. We could pick up a trinket, which might be useful. Play on hit blind could be very good for us. Play on miss crit. Crit is not particularly great for enemies to get. 10% chance to start with a crit token is also very good. I'm going to take the buttressing band. And who do we want to put that on? Let's throw it on our good friend Dismas here, and then let's go. All right. Off into the Fetter we go. Let's see how this region goes, if it goes at all. So we will try to go for the baby if we can. It does open us up to an early collector, but you know, that's a risk we might have to take. Wow, a lot of creature dens. What were the map conditions? Creature den locations and scouting. Right, okay, that was the thing there. We have the vintage collection, so we could get some of the blood or the wine there, which would be pretty good. Now, getting multiple creature dens could be very powerful for us. Definitely set us up with mastery points, as well as setting us up with just items as well. So I don't know if we want to go for all three, but we should definitely go for at least two, I would say, and see how we feel after that. All right, creature den time. Let's take a look here. Two people want to leave. Unfortunately, the fight is worth the relationships at this point. Relationships are not that big of an issue. Early creature dens too are pretty good because the worms, at least the smaller version of them, are a bit less potent. They can't eat corpses in the first region, making them much less efficient at being able to actually do what it is that they do. So that is something to keep in mind. We'll go ahead, let's get riposte going. Make sure we're getting as many actions as possible. And we also do want to make sure we're moving. That will give us the additional damage modifiers. So we are getting the debuffs already, which is obviously not great. But we are getting, you know, good amounts of damage modified here, which is nice. So let's go ahead. Yeah, there's some damage. Nice crit too. Fantastic. It spread burns the corpse. Unfortunate, but that's okay. Lots of dodge as well, which is really nice. We're definitely getting full advantage of the dodge. And can't do much more than this here, which is fine. So now we're up to like 15% damage on him. It's feeling pretty good. Try strategic withdrawal. And we can try Fade to Black. Probably will miss though. Still got the buff. Up to 18% damage. Now we're feeling pretty good. That's our first major bit of stress there. Good crit. Fantastic. We're already seeing the value of that trinket come into play here. Now we can do Pal July, just to remove the corpses. Oh, the game had to think a little bit about that one. I cannot do strategic withdrawal. I'm actually going to go ahead and do stand fast, just so we're prepared for the next wave. I think that'll be important for us. Fantastic. This team is working well, really well, actually. Dancing teams are very fun. They can definitely be a bit squishy, which is a problem. But I think overall, this team has done very well for itself already. Let's see if we can go ahead and lower their speed a bit. Should definitely counter our lowered speed a little bit. And then go ahead and smoke bomb here, or smoke screen, I should say. Get that blind going. And then we can even solo up here, get the dodge, which will be useful, as well as a little bit of bleed. Lots of combo for us to pick from here, so we should start moving him up.
Weaken them, that another may finish the work.
Upgrading Hold the Line may also be a pretty good option for us at this point, just so we can make sure we're getting as much stun value out of the Man at Arms as possible. Okay, hopefully that it doesn't bleed us, so we do have to be considerate about things like bleed, right? Bleeding is kind of our only healing option, so I almost want to do Battle Ballad here just to see if we can get the bleed. There we go. And now she can heal herself, which is useful. And a crit heal at that. Amazing. So, almost dead. Let's go ahead and get the kill. There is the necrophage. Maybe should have thought about that a bit more, but it's what it is. We can actually use highway robbery to some pretty decent effect, I think. Good resist on the disease there, thank you. That would have been the oozes. Not a particularly great disease to get. I'm just trying to keep our combo up right now. Everybody is bleeding, which is actually not necessarily a bad thing for us right now. We should probably go ahead and try to at least remove and get that crit token, and then we can play around from there. To get the burn, which is nice. And then we can do something like Echoing March here. This will apply the bleed, and then every time it moves, it'll also bleed itself, which is pretty fun. Well, I think it resisted the bleed there. There's the oozes. Unfortunate. It was probably bound to happen eventually, but... What are we up to damage-wise? 42% damage, 33% damage. Some pretty crazy numbers going on there. Go ahead and cauterize her again. Probably going to go for a necrophage here. That's totally fine. We've kept our stress down amazingly well, so very happy to see that. I cannot do highway robbery, so let's just go for the crit.
A slow dissection. An unavoidable end.
And let's go ahead and solo here for the bleed. And also the massive increase to our damage there again. There's the oozes. There's the stun. Bit of damage there. So yeah, healing is definitely going to be a thing we have to be cautious of with this team. Absolutely. I'm curious as if I should probably smoke screen here just to try and avoid us taking any damage this round if possible. Didn't work out in our favor there. 50-50 chance. I couldn't have killed anything with her, so realistically it was either take both damage or just take some. So... Nice crit, thank you. Good stress heal across the board there. And let's see if we can do that again. It's open vein this time. Just to get that bleed going. And then we're going to heal you one more time. She's kept herself in the game longer than probably should have, but there we go. Good crit. Now we're doing some pretty serious damage. What are we up to now? Plus 42%, plus 39%. We are down 3-2. We're down a decent amount of speed, but 42%, 48%. Like, we're talking some pretty gnarly amount of damage going on there for sure. It doesn't really matter who we hit with this.
enemy weakens and wanes.
All right. Now that was a fun fight. I'm pretty happy with that. We do get the peculiar secretion, which will remove diseases. That's actually pretty good. We did end up snagging a disease, so.
An elementary problem.
So do we go for another creature den, or do we go for the unknown? Now the unknown will give us a little bit of stress healing. We'll also open up this cache, which could be good for us. But man, I don't know. I think this other creature den sounds pretty good to me. Our team is feeling pretty potent right now. Do we have any... We didn't get any additional, like, pouch of lie or anything from that? No, okay. Just wanted to make sure that we didn't get any other combat items. Combat items are something that you definitely want to be using as much as possible. There are definitely good times to hoard combat items, but I find a lot of people overly do the hoarding thing, and it causes more problems than it does good. They let themselves basically get in a situation where they're not allowing their team to survive because they just want to keep something for a little bit longer, and that's definitely not the best way to go about it. I'm gonna go ahead and throw Standfast on right now, and just so we don't get... There's a good amount of damage coming out of this team, and I don't really want to get hit with too much of it, so... Already up to 6 bleed on that one guy. That's pretty good. Yeah, so we're about to get hit by quite a bit of damage here. Thankfully, we do it with the block token, which is nice. Unfortunate crit there as well, but Defiant does help us out a little bit. And let's see what we can do here. 2 damage there. He's taking 6 damage. Let's just go for the kill. There's our first little bit of debuff. We can go for a smack here. Strategic withdrawal may have been a better option, but that does open us up for doing this. Now, if we land... We'd have to, unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to land enough to kill him with bleed. We can only get him up to 8. So I'm just going to go ahead and land a bleed here, while also giving us a little bit of survivability in the form of if the Jester gets targeted, he's less likely to take the damage. Unfortunately, he did take the damage anyway. Not particularly great. Good crit, though. Thank you very much.
Victory supposes strategy. Press on.
Okay, there's the dodge, thankfully. A lot of blight, not what we want to see. I'm actually going to go ahead. Oh, I can't. I was going to try to battle ballad here to give the man arms a bleed, but we can't do that. So 10 damage bleed here, 2 damage bleed there. Not enough to kill, but enough to kill here. And we can kill here. And that's both. That's the whole team done. Fortunately, we won't be able to get a good heal in, but we can at least stop anybody else from taking blight damage here. So our man-at-arms is not in the best of shape right now. Going into a creature den looking a little less potent, but something that we can mess around with for sure. I think giving him that is good. He also has Sanguine. I actually didn't even take a look at our quirks. Sanguine, very good. Bad Digestion, not great. Shroud Scrounger is fine. Melophobic is a little irritating. Last Gasp is okay. Okay. Last Gasp will give us more speed. So right now his speed should be buffed, I do believe. Yep, because of his quirk. So, oh, we picked something up there. I didn't see what it was. Slime Mold, fantastic. Everybody loves a little bit of Slime Mold, right? So Barristan is healing up pretty well here, so I'm not super worried about it. I do think we have a pretty decent counter to most teams. Spiders would probably be my biggest threat, obviously, because of their ability to blight. Is not something that I can deal with super effectively. Worms bleed, though, and 4 baby worms with lots of days is not necessarily a huge issue for us. We can probably focus down 1 or 2 of these guys and get some decent damage going into them. There's a good stun. So this will do 6 damage. This will do 8 with a bleed. I'm gonna solo this guy. If that bleeds, that will kill him. He'll take the bleed from this turn, and he'll take the bleed next turn, so that's him dead. Just trying to eliminate threats here. Actually getting bled on our man arms here is not a bad option. There we go. 1 bleed is nothing compared to what we should be able to heal here with our runaway now, so not feeling super bad about that. That was a pretty good thing to have happen. 21 heal. That's unupgraded too. Like the survivor is no joke. No joke. Get some riposte going here.
That another may finish the work.
Nice, excellent.
Large.
Yep, this yellow hand highwayman is no joke. He's doing some pretty good work for us right now. I won't be able to hit anything here, I don't believe, but we can go ahead and throw Standfast up. Again, give us, you know, it's all about control in these fights a lot of times. At least now I know where damage is going, which is always a useful thing to keep in mind. I'm actually going to go ahead and... No, we can get a decent amount of damage here, and I was thinking about battle balloting to get the kill, but I don't think it was a necessity, as you can see here. We can go ahead and... I'm going to save the Pouch of Life for now. I'm not sure what the next round is going to be, and one worm isn't really much of a threat, especially a worm that cannot eat another corpse, so it's not really that big of an issue. I do wish we had a corpse clear, but Echoing March for now will do the ticket. All right, so we've got riposte going. Big worms again. So we're going to get the same... We should get another salve, I believe, which I don't think we'll actually use, if I remember correctly. I'm not quite... I can't remember exactly how that works. But, yeah, let's go ahead and probably try to focus down the 2 big worms if we can. All right, fantastic. Got the open vein going. We'll solo into the big worm. Everybody's damage is starting to get up there now, which is nice. A lot of the damage is going to go into the mana arms here. And with that bleed, that's helpful for us as well. So good resist on the bleed there. The oozes, though. The ooze is not helping us, that's for sure. Okay, that one is not dead yet per se, but unlikely to survive much longer. It's depending on how Death's Door checks treat us. Fortunately, went through the blind there. Not super worried about healing quite yet, so we'll avoid doing so. We'll go ahead and just move up. Might get a burn if this we're lucky. Yeah, we were lucky.
Any being, however horrid, can be brought to heal.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Probably gonna go for a heal here at this point. Just he's low enough that we can get him feeling much better doing that. And where would solo serve us best, if anywhere? Probably not. Let's go for Echoing March. Another open vein going there. Fantastic. So now this guy has got a 6 bleed on him, so he's now dead this next turn. The 2 big worms are on Death's Door. And so if we go ahead and kill him, then we are... Unless one of these guys survives their death check, which they didn't, then we've gone ahead and successfully done this fight. Very good. We use this chance to get a little heal going for us. Defiant is outpacing the heal there, the blood there, so... And yeah, that was really clean. Oh, this time we got Congealed Slab. -3 stress the whole party and an additional mastery point, plus another mastery point from the actual fight itself. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 mastery points already, no diseases, and very low stress because of all of these fights. So definitely taking full advantage of that. Do we want to go for the baby? That's a question for the ages. I do not know if it's a great idea for us right now. It could definitely set us up for a really, really strong opening. Very strong opening. Those bandages are actually going to be pretty useful for us at this point. Where we'd end up with some really good trinkets and also just some really good level of mastery. But I don't know how effective we're going to be against the baby, if I'm entirely honest. I really don't. 30 torch. What's our torch at? 68 for a little bit of food as well. This is going to be good for us. It is going to hurt our relationship, but getting our torch up there, getting that bread. I'm going to go ahead and actually drop this slime mold. Everybody wants to go for the lair, so we might as well give it a shot. I am almost tempted to put Barristan back a position, though, so that way he can open up with hold the line if we need to. And it's not like Reynold can, is incapable of doing anything from here. In fact, it may even be better to do something like this. He can still do everything here. Sarmenti can still do pretty much everything he needs to. This will probably be a better opener for us at this point than otherwise. And of our ability to move around, we might be able to negate the hunger tokens pretty effectively by just kind of forcing our team around, moving them where we need them to be. So we'll definitely give it a shot. We'll see how it goes. Here we go. The Harvest House. Okay, we've got a maid, a lady, and 2 livestock or goats. The goats do get a buff from the maid, so that is something to keep in mind if you want to kill the maid first or whatever the case is. Generally speaking, though, I'm going to consider the lady to be one of the bigger threats here. Though all she does realistically is move the team around, but again, she does do a lot of damage. I'm hoping that she misses. There we go. Fantastic. Good start here. At least I think it's a pretty good start. Let's go for Temple Gross. Get that vulnerable going. And we'll go ahead and pull the lady here. Maybe get the burn to spread. We do get the burn to spread. Fantastic. And we'll go ahead and just get that a little bit of damage here. Was hoping that would stun her. They did not. Good resist, though. And that should be the lady out of the way. And now I'm going to focus on the livestock because I think the maid is less of a threat generally. So let's go ahead and just solo here. Again, this also gives us that survivability and that speed, which is nice. Lots of dodge. We love to see the dodge. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and kill this one. Could have done damage to the other one, but it wouldn't have been a kill, so really wasn't super worried about it. Another great dodge. Solo doing its work here, and another amazing crit. Fantastic. And we can't pull here, but is there anything we can land? Not really. Might as well just get the damage buff. Move him forward, or her forward, sorry. Of course, we do want to avoid taking any additional damage that we don't need to. So we'll go ahead and bellow here. And then we'll just move forward. Get the corpse pulled forward. We should be able to do some damage with Echoing March in a bit. Try to bleed the corpse if we can. I think Ransack can hit now. Ooh, great hit as well. Fantastic.
Incremental.
Yeah, those oozes are not going to be helpful for us, that's for sure. And the bleed stuck, so she should be dead now. Fantastic. Good starting fights. Love to see it. Let's go. All right. This is a bit more of a threatening fight, I would say. The Butcher also gets a buff on the goats, and that is going to give them a plus 50% damage, as well as being able to do things like heal the whole team using Vile Feast. Tendaflock is going to give Riposte here. Probably going to have to bellow that off to get the most use out of it. Good thing about the livestock is they are fairly easy to kill, so you can kind of focus on... I generally find it's easier to focus on the livestock than it is the Butcher or the Maid, but I would consider the Butcher to be a pretty decent threat in this situation. We're going to go ahead and kill the livestock.
On to the next.
And then we can go ahead and try to blind the Butcher here. Fantastic. And we can bellow. That'll remove the riposte, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. I was hoping that dodge would work, but it did not. But we still get the... that does give us the buff still. So that is something to keep in mind. We still do get that damage buff even when an enemy moves us. So not necessarily the worst thing that could happen to us. Let's go ahead and Echoing March here. $14 crit. Incredible. Amazing damage there. Hopefully we can show that kind of damage to the baby, huh? I would hate for this run to be cut short by an early Lair fight, but... Dodge it? Oh, unfortunate no dodge. Good solo going here. That riposte again. Not really something I want to deal with, so let's see if we can remove it. Fantastic. We'll bellow again. And we do get that speed token. Echoing March will allow us to pull her forward even more. Already up to 6 bleed.
A slow dissection.
8 damage there.
An unavoidable end.
And she's dead. So that's I would say, a pretty good start to that. Going into this with not too much shabbiness. Carved Toy. Turn start, if stealth, get a crit token apply on a Hearthlight skills giving combo is actually pretty good. The minus speed versus Gaunt isn't great, but that's whatever. Ghastly Gruel is good here. Inventory slots is good here. Galvanizing Goblet doesn't do anything for us. A Roast Pig is great. Collector's Chandelier is fine, except it doesn't do anything for us. The only thing this could be good for is if we do want to spawn the Collector. This will increase our chances once we get a trophy. So we're gonna go for it, and let's see how this goes. Not super stoked for it, but hopefully.
The child is a ravenous avatar of degeneracy.
All right, so we do have the hunger off the bat. Unfortunately, it was already on our first hero going, so not a great opening there, I will say. But that is what it is. We'll go ahead and now we just start trying to get some damage, some combo going. I don't actually mind the burn on the big meat here. It's not necessarily a bad thing to have happen, but we'll go ahead and hold the line. And this will at least stop the hunger from affecting anybody but the man-at-arms for a round or two, depending on how this all pans out. Good miss, thank you. And let's go ahead and move forward here. That way the vulnerable token isn't hit by the big hit from the... What am I trying to say? The big hit from the baby here. There's the hunger. It was going to hit. The double blind, not particularly great. Yeah, there's that vulnerable. Already getting a little bit worried here, but we will make it work to our advantage. Ooh, nice crit. We have 2 bleeds going, so we are able to heal from bleeds, which is nice. Okay, what's the order here? Gonna go ahead and use this. We want to save our cauterizes for as much as we can. Fine if it misses. We still get the dodge, and that's really what I'm looking for here. Okay, there's a bleed. Finally got that to land. Unfortunately, he did get moved forward there. Still up to 41 health, though, so that's okay. Great dodge there. Fantastic. Okay. Hunger on the Highwayman is not what we want to see, that's for sure. Let's go ahead and stand fast. This will, though, allow us to keep the highwaymen from getting having to eat, which is good. Good miss there, thank you. Good open vein, hopefully land the big bleed there. Big bleed, I should say. See if we can push the baby back. We do get that, that's awesome. I'm gonna go and smoke screen here for the potential blind, though it is resisted. It's not particularly great. Oh my goodness, it's resisting all the blinds. Okay.
However horrid, can be brought
8 damage from bleed now, which is nice. So this is gonna be a particularly painful hit on our, yep, there it is.
agony.
Oof.
Accumulation.
Wow, I wasn't expecting our man arms to get bled there. Unfortunately, he's going to get hit. And there's nothing I can do about it. I am in trouble. I'm going to have to try to blind the meat, if possible. Nope.
Another blow on the bruise.
A very lucky heal there. Oh, that's unfortunate, the hunger. We probably are going to lose this run, unfortunately. 71% chance to survive this. Not looking great. An unfortunate crit. Oh my goodness. Somehow still alive. The baby gets 2 hits though. And strategic withdrawal does not heal.
Through adversity and affliction, the heart beats.
I do not know how he's still alive. There he goes. Oh.
An unforeseen.
Okay, so I raged a little bit. I raged a little bit. I don't know if we can survive this, but
Victory
I'm gonna try.
supposes strategy. Press on.
I did cut out a little bit there. There's like 3 rounds in between that I cut because I was so mad that we lost the man-at-arms. Hopefully we can maybe find another dancer
They
or
ate the
at least
rotten flesh of their
survive.
animals.
But we've got
Then,
good trinkets
still
now.
hungry, they turned upon
And
themselves.
really it just boils down to, yeah, just hoping that we can make this work. And that's really all I can ask for. So we'll try to make it work. This is such a good run that we have, and I would hate to see it go to waste just because we lost a hero. That's part of the game. Losing heroes is part of the game. So if we can get to the end here
Whispers.
and survive and see who we get. Yeah, I talk about adapting a lot. You know, so we did rage there. But it is what it is. All right, let's see what we get here. Hopefully something good. Minus 25 torchlight for food, and we'll take it. It's not great
An
for the
unexpected find.
people there, but hey, we got some really good food, and that's helpful. We should just double check our abilities. I think because we have such a flexible team, this is
Simple choice.
probably okay.
At least it should be.
We're gonna go for the academic study. We are not gonna go for the creature den. We're gonna try to avoid taking a difficult fight right now. And again, we just have to hope that we can still kind of make this work, which we can. We can definitely make this work. We've got a really strong team here. We just have to push through and hopefully get to the end of this. Okay, we got 1 enemy dead already. That's a really good start here. Generally speaking, you want to try to eliminate, you know, an enemy around is really kind of how I feel about it. That's an unfortunate fact that both those dodges, neither of them worked. Very unfortunate there. We'll go for a smoke screen just to get the blind. Neither of these enemies bleed. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna bleed her if I can. Now she resisted it, so that's oh well. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
Weaken
He
them,
resisted the bleed
that
too.
another may finish the work.
He's too good. Ghastly Gruul doing some work for us here, which is great. I love to see that. All right. We have a heal here, so let's use it, and then we're gonna go ahead and do this. Inspiring Tune. Resisting the bleeds. Interesting. Still. Finally a miss. There we go. It's pretty crazy how much damage we need to kind of... Oh my god, Gruul is doing the Lord's work for us right now. I will say that. And the Jester is also doing the Lord's work for us. We've got this. All right. I'm motivated again. I've let my worries get ahead of me there. The Man-at-Arms will be remembered. Unfortunately, we probably will not get somebody who's as rank flexible, but, you know, 3/4 of a dance team is still a dance team, right? Right? 10 damage is really good, though. We've got horror on everybody, which is not great, but...
Lenity. Grace. Small acts that drive back.
That's
the
absolutely
darkness.
fine. I'm gonna run and hide, just to get ourselves in a good position here. Man, I wish we didn't have this much horror. One Widow can really mess up your team. It's crazy how much they can mess your team up. Get a little bit of stress. What is he? Oh, Sanguine. Sanguine is like, man, what's he doing that's doing that? I'm actually gonna go Echoing March here. This will get her in position that the Highwayman can also do some damage. She is dead. We do have a lot of stress, but we are alive. I will keep saying that.
Cut down these nightmares.
I'm sorry that I rage quit there. That was I don't know what the end of that recording looks like. Where I just oh, okay, Stagecoach taking one off in the air there. I was mad. You know, it is what it is. Okay, so we can either get the blood or the wine. I'm gonna take the wine. I think that's gonna be the more potent thing to get right now, especially considering that we're just not in great condition. This will help us kind of fix relationships. What do our relationships look like right now? Honestly, not terrible. I'm actually quite happy with that. We just have to have fingers crossed that we get like maybe a Grave Robber. Grave Robber could be, you know, workable. I'm gonna take these combat items just so we have things equipped. Grave Robber could be workable. Who else would be good? The Flag would probably be okay, albeit he doesn't move much himself. Grave Robber would be the most ideal for this team, right? We do lose our tank in that process, but we've already lost the tank. Hellion might be okay. She actually is semi-rank flexible. Not amazingly so, but kind of enough. This is gonna be a tough fight for us. Yeah, this is gonna be tough for us.
Agony by accumulation.
Okay, resisting the burn there is amazing. Thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get. Oh, my goodness. I was hoping we might get another dodge there, but alas, no such luck. Defiant still doing absolutely great for us here. We're gonna keep doing this to disrupt the Evangelist so we can focus on the this altar, because it's gonna be a problem for us. It's probably gonna be a meltdown. Hopefully it's a resolute.
Spears.
It isn't. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. But he is bleeding, so well, as long as we move him up here, we will be able to heal. At least with our... what's her name? What's the name of that very nice lady? The Runaway.
A slow dissection. An unavoidable end.
Assuming that the Runaway goes first and that we don't get the Highwayman dead here, please. Oh my goodness.
Malaise.
Come on, video game.
Measured and steady.
Okay, Runaway is going first. That's great, and he survived. He got himself off death's door with Defiance, so that's amazing.
Rarely in these times.
Love to see that. I'm gonna solo here to get the bleed if we can. Oh my goodness, what is the bleed resist on this little dude? He's just stacking bleed on himself, which is great for us. I love to see that. Can I please see the bleed resist on this guy? 20%? It's not even that high. Goodness. There we go. Now he's got a 4 bleed. That's great. Every time that these guys are moving each other, they are causing problems. Let's move back here.
A simple variable.
Okay, so the altar is now out of the equation, which is great. Let's get some heals going. 35 health. He's got more health, so let's get the Jester healed up. Okay, he's dead next round, which is great. We no longer have to worry about him, so we just won't worry about the Evangelist. Can I Echoing March here? I cannot. Okay, that's fine. Who still has turns left? This one's going first. That one I'm not as worried about because it's out of position. So I'm going to blind the one that can do more damage. And then we're going to go ahead and heal here. I was a little too stingy with my heals in the fight against the baby. I think that's why I lost the mana arms. So there he goes. Great. Intermezzo doing really strong work there. Especially on a team like these cultists who like to move around a lot when you displace them. Very potent stuff for sure. Smoke screen. Let's get smoke screen going here. And then hope that we can do enough damage. Can we do 4 here? It's likely. There we go. So that way, hopefully that one will die this round. Nocturne Commune. That blind is still there. That's great. We can probably... We won't be able to highway robbery from this position. But that's okay. We can Echoing March, though. Hopefully this misses. No such luck, huh? We are out of heals, so we kind of just have to rely on doing the damage now. Blind is there. That's great. Open vein crit. Love to see it. 8 bleed there now. I'm going to solo here. This should hopefully increase the bleed and also give us a good chance of dodging.
An unavoidable
and just gonna run and hide. Amazing. We're still in this. We're still in this game, baby. Hell yeah. Don't give up. That's the moral of this run so far, is do not give up. I'm just glad I didn't abandon the run when I rage quit. Like, just actually abandoned it. Kept the game up. I rage quit, but I left.
Until the next test is put before
great.
you.
Severed Finger is really strong for us. That's way better than this. We're bleeding a lot of targets right now. We don't really care about Slice Off, but if target is bleeding plus 25% damage, that's really good. That's awesome. We can definitely work with that. We'll definitely take these, and then we'll be on our way. Honestly, I actually should have taken that goblet because we don't know who we're getting. And if we get Grave Robber, you know, it could have been really good for us, but alas, I was not thinking straight. Misplays upon misplays.
Meal, a strong drink, and finally, rest.
All right, we survived. Okay, we're down a hero, but we survived. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I raged like that. It's been a minute since this game has made me rage that much. But hey, that is just part of it. Who did we get? We got a Hellion. Okay.
Gathers.
We did get +3 mastery from that. So we got 6 mastery points, which is pretty good. And we have a Wanderer Hellion. We can definitely make this work. We're gonna have to do some breakthrough plays, though. I think that's gonna have to be. It's gonna have to be on the docket. But I think we're gonna be okay.
Torment.
I think we're gonna be all right. So
bent on our destruction.
Awesome. All right. I'm glad I didn't give up on it. But on that note, we're gonna go ahead and end this episode, or this part of this run here. we'll continue on with this run again. I will try my best not to delete the run in between episodes, so that way we can actually continue it. And let's see if we can at least keep the semi-dance team alive for another run. Thanks all for watching. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. It really, really helps. And consider subscribing to the channel. I appreciate y'all, and I'll catch you on the next one.